Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Living World of Darkness, New York by Night Camarilla venue. This evening's aftermath takes place in the Sanguine Stiletto, which is Ghost's biker bar in East Harlem. And before Ghost left the scene of the carnage, she just told Rose and everybody there that she'd be heading back to her bar. But about an hour later, Lady Sheridan will get a phone call from Billy the Inept Bodyguard, asking her to come to the bar, and he sounds very scared on the phone. He says that Ghost has been very aggressive and angry and has sort of semi-trashed the bar, and he can't talk to her. Perhaps the Lady Sheridan would be able to calm her down.
And Lady Sheridan will thank Billy for letting her know and make her way over there with one of Ghost's random bodyguards that are hanging around her place as the driver. And when she gets there, she will head inside.
Billy's standing outside, and he's smoking a cigarette, and his hands are sort of shaking a little bit. He's obviously not seen a very angry ghost before. As someone that's got a lot of potence and throw a lot of weight around, as you can imagine. And he sort of indicates with his hand inside. The bar is deserted. There's nobody in there apart from a figure you can see in the far corner. There are bottles knocked over and stools knocked over, and part of the glass on the bar itself is smashed. A bit of a mess.
And Lady Sheridan will make her way over to Ghost. I'm assuming it's Ghost over in the corner. And she will crouch down to about Ghost's level. Do you want to talk about it?
Not fucking really.
Okay.
She stands up and sort of wipes her mouth with the corner of her hand. Looks like she's fed recently. She's got a tiny little bit of blood in the corner of her mouth.
Lady Sheridan will stand as well.
This had been a taxing day on my self-control.
I understand.
She still looks sort of wide-eyed, and it wouldn't be a good idea to push any buttons right now. I'm sure you're safe to assume, but she's just about holding it together. She moves around and goes over to the bar and picks up a pack of cigarettes.
And Lady Sheridan will follow her and pick up one of the bar stools and set it upright and take a seat on it.
Billy pops his head in to see what's going on, trying to sort of spy on you both without actually being noticed, but because he's Billy the Inept Bodyguard, he fails at being inconspicuous, and Ghost sees him and just says, "Get out!" She's still pretty angry with him, and he sort of darts around the door as fast as a fat man can move. Thank you for helping me earlier.
That's quite all right. What are coterie mates for?
A couple of seconds and I would have had to, really hurt him, and I'd rather not. even though he deserves it right now.
Yes, well, I'm sure we've all been feeling the strain a little bit with this investigation.
There's something else with Limey. There's something not quite right about him. I think this maestro woman's played tricks with his mind.
Does seem possible.
He's been acting really fucking weird ever since it started. Really
Well,
crazy.
you know him better than I do, so I'll simply have to take your word on that. But he does seem off.
He's normally a lot calmer than this. A lot cooler. Not saying it was a pleasant sight. No, it's no good losing your cool. Something really fucking stupid could have happened. With us all screaming and shouting there, drawing attention to the van, you know what I mean?
Yes, not to mention he very nearly ended up on camera with his fangs out.
Yeah. By the time I got to the fucking roof, everything was over. I feel very useless right now.
That is entirely undeserved. Just because you were unable to get involved in the final leg of this investigation doesn't mean you haven't helped every step of the way to it.
Limey was the one with all the answers. I guess he's the brains of this operation. Never really was much of a brainy type.
If it wasn't for you, how likely do you think it is that I would be alive right now?
I don't know.
It's possible, but it's also possible I wouldn't be, given certain situations we've both found ourselves in. And if I wasn't, then how likely do you think it is that anyone else would have noticed that first story? Tucked away in the paper as it was.
You've got a point.
And then, admittedly, we would likely get there in the end because the stories did get more and more noticeable. But would we have got there this time, or would we have gotten there next time with more dead bodies? Everyone who decides to contribute will have contributed something, and you have.
You see her sort of. She rubs her forehead and then runs her hand back through her short hair. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. What a mess. She leans over and picks up a stool.
So now the question is, now that we know that we've apprehended the maestro, and now that so things have to a certain extent been taken in hand, what do we intend to do about Limey? As you said, he's not behaving in character. So presumably something must be wrong. Now, I'm not sure quite how we go about researching what, understand what to do about it, assuming there is, but it does seem quite likely.
Maybe someone can check him over. I don't know whether, you know, someone with
I can
mind.
try and check his mind. I wouldn't notice everything, but I can try.
Perhaps you and Rose could have a go. I've seen her do weird things before. It's more to do with truth, though, isn't it? I don't know. She's weird. She's weird. She's my clanmate, but she's weird. I don't really understand all this shit. I don't know. I didn't sign up for this shit either. Ugh.
Nobody does. We simply do the best with what is put in front of us.
I think of that you would see well, Rose will enter the bar as well. She doesn't know where you guys are, so she'll just walk in, still wearing veil and cloak, and look around.
They're both sat at the bar. There's nobody else around.
Oh, awesome.
Lots of distraction, though.
She's good, yeah. And Rose will walk towards the bar and just sit down on one of the stools. Well, good evening, both of you, again.
Good evening, Rose.
Speak of the devil. She smiled at Rose.
Rose raises an eyebrow at that. Devil?
Turn of phrase.
Hmm.
We were just discussing Limey and his unusual behaviour.
Hmm. He did seem more edgy lately. Why? Something happened?
He attacked me earlier
He attacked you.
in frenzy.
I see.
We're
Any
not
idea what
sure
caused it?
if something has happened.
I don't really know the extent of what this maestro could do, but it's possible that something about what she's been doing has damaged his mind, or perhaps his mind's been tampered with.
I do remember a while ago when we were looking over the harp and lyre bodies that something seemed to be going on inside of him. Kind of tormented. Hmm.
It's not like him to be so aggressive. I mean, you could expect it from me. She indicates around with her hand. But Limey, his whole demeanour's changed. He's edgy, he's rude, he's unsociable.
He's taking it all rather more personally than might be expected.
Well, he was involved in a lot. Maybe it got to him.
Possibly. But it might be in everyone's best interest to check.
I know it's the nature of the blood for us to be more emotional and in touch with our human morals than other vampires. But, like I said, it's out of character.
Hmm. I wonder what he himself would think of it. If you want to, I don't mind having a talk with him, but I'm not quite sure if there would be anything I could do to help.
I'm gonna. It's probably better for you to talk to him than me. I'm gonna leave him to cool off for a while. I think it's a bad idea for us to come to blows right now.
Maybe he just needs to find peace again. So, you found the piano, right?
Yeah,
Hmm, I thought as much.
you were right. Thing
Hmm,
is, if somebody in there is still alive, I don't know whether we're gonna be able to save her or not.
someone's still alive?
One of
Wow.
the components to the piano was still breathing.
Hmm. Well, I do know of a group of people who could.
Deborah, can you mute yourself because it's really loud and distracting? Thank you. What did you say then? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
That's fine. Um, well, I do know of some sort of kindred who can do stuff with bodies, but I'm pretty sure they will not be willing to help out if there's even one of them in this city, which I doubt, as they are not part of, not usually part of the Camarilla.
Ghost raises a brow. What do you mean?
And there's a clan of, well, not, well, kindreds, but as you might expect, they call themselves differently, who work with bodies.
I'm not so keen on getting people outside of our trust to do
Well,
this.
neither am I, and I must say I don't know any one of them personally, so that would be a rather interesting search. I would advise not to do something like that unless there's no other way out.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it in the hands of people who know about these things. Perhaps
Mm,
it's something that we should talk to the sheriff about as well. I know he wasn't there last night. Hint, hint.
Sheriff, for all you know, is currently sitting in his own office, twiddling his thumbs, maybe playing solitaire.
Oh, no one remembered to invite him. Forever alone.
well, you
Okay,
could
well,
see if he's around. I mean,
yeah, it might be a good idea. I think he would like to be informed about what happened.
I think when it comes to the piano, maybe maybe it would actually help Limey if he would, well, sort out his demons with that thing.
Yeah, today maybe I'm some sort of monster now. I don't really feel things as deeply as I used to.
That doesn't necessarily make you a monster.
More time goes on, the more horrible shit you see. Sort of numbs you to it after a while. Today.
Well, yeah, that's almost forgive me for using the word, but that's almost human. I mean, it might not actually be a bad thing. I mean, look at Limey. He's not used to these kind of stuff. See what it does to him.
Yeah. You know, if I was still living, I'd be about 60 years old now. 60-year-old woman, can you imagine that?
Your hair would be as white as mine.
Probably be dead, to be honest.
The important thing when it comes to deciding if you're a monster or not is very much not do you care in the moment, but do you care enough to stop it?
Wise words. And
Well,
true.
I'm glad it's all over mostly, because
Ah, yes. That's one thing that's definitely true.
just in time for Halloween, eh?
Well, at least we have some inspiration. So I think I'm gonna skip this year.
It's probably one night a year that you can actually get away with a bit more.
Hmm. Well,
Nosferatu should come out to play.
well, if either of you would like to inform the sheriff, I think that would be best. I think he would be anxious to see whether we succeeded or not.
I'll throw her a text. Ghost gets out her phone, iPhone, sends a text to Frank, saying to
Yeah.
meet at the bar.
Yeah, you'll get a text back simply saying, I wear my sunglasses at night, and I'll be there.
Ghost laughs at her text message. Oh dear, that guy. He'll be here soon.
Mhm.
So what actually happened up on the roof? I mean, I got there, but after all that fucking around on the ground, not in time it seemed.
Well, to be honest, not much. I got up there and she changed in front of me into a swarm of bats. Then she flew off and I was afraid I'd lost trail, but I heard a gunshot, and as I ran into that direction, I could see her on the other side of the building. I just jumped on top of her and I caught her.
Hmm.
As I said, not that much. It wasn't that heroic or special. I'm kind of curious who fired the gun in the end.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, if it was a ghoul, then we should definitely keep an eye on him, because then they show great promise. And if it was someone else, I would like to thank them. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have caught her. That's for sure.
What are we gonna do with her now?
Hmm. I think that's up to the sheriff and the prince to decide. Definitely not me.
Uh, I'm not sort of one for revenge. I say kill her and be done with it. Don't particularly like to see anything be tortured. It's not an eye for an eye around here.
What I'm quite curious about is where the shot came from.
Perhaps we have a guardian angel.
It'll,
Perhaps.
I met an angel with a nasty shotgun once, but it's a while ago.
it'll take a few different minutes for the for the character Frank Green to go ahead and make his laborious way down his own particular routes to finally end up at the Sanguinian Stiletto, whatever we're currently calling this fantastic stripper bar that the character Ghost currently maintains. Just goes ahead and walks over to the entrance. And I believe when he sees the carnage before him, things will take a quite drastic turn. Mhm. Okay. So he looks at the carnage, he looks at the kindred over at the far corner, and he simply says, "Who's who, who's asleep?"
He was asleep. Ghost raises an eyebrow in confusion.
You called me over to talk business, and I see this wreckage here, and I'm just asking who needs to be put to sleep, who is already in sleep, and what exactly has been happening tonight.
Don't
He
mind the
says
broken
he's
glass.
just fiddling around with some pieces of wood, breaking off a chair leg, and dropping it to the ground when you say there's no trouble.
I had an argument with the table. It escalated. Wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure the table is worse off.
We do have a captive though.
Congratulations. This related to the business line me was pestering me about earlier in the afternoon.
Yeah, we got her. Well, Rose and our mysterious stranger got her.
Okay. She was definitely at the Lincoln Center, I guess.
Yep, and she left a nice present.
Okay. Pretend I'm 5 years old and you're a grand mammy. Tell me the story.
She looks at Rose.
Well, you want me to tell it? I mean, you pretty much nailed it there.
Alright. Ghost sighs impatiently. She doesn't really like telling stories. Basically, we headed to the Lincoln Center, staked it out for a little while. The prince gave us some surveillance equipment and that sort of thing so we could take a look at the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
We spotted someone park a van and then climb up onto the roof. The person was up there. I went to check out the van. The van had inside it a lovely constructed piano out of human body parts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was a rope leading down to the van. I'm guessing she wanted to put the piano on the roof or put the piano inside the building somewhere for it to be found, but she didn't get that far. Limey frenzied on me, and I was dealing with that. And Rose, I didn't know Rose had headed onto the roof already. I didn't see her move, but apparently she was already up there. And we all heard a gunshot, and the mysterious person shot the maestro in the head, and she was laying there on the ground on the roof, and Rose got her, I presume. Looks at Rose.
Rose just nods.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like a pretty standard operation. Congratulations for interrupting the maestro's work before she can go public with her art. congratulations for recovering the art. Congratulations for taking the captive as well. Over and all, great marks. However, but still got a few questions.
Right.
Okay. So you have this van on the ground, and we have you, Ghost, and Langley. Who else? Who else was there on the ground team?
Lady Sheridan. That was it.
Okay. So what was the ground team doing once they saw the van pull up? Because I knew it was going to be a van. I knew she couldn't just make it on the spot. She had to transport that damn thing.
Well, as soon as I think it was me initially that spotted it. As soon as I spotted it, I crept over to the van and peeked inside. There was a strong smell of blood. She was already up the rope and onto the roof though before I got there.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. I understand that. Arab, no. Sheridan, Limey, what were they doing while you were pestering out the car, and what were they doing afterwards?
Sheridan was keeping an eye on the phone which controlled some of the um, security. I can't think of the right word now. Some security placements that the prince had given us, like a button to knock out the power and knock out the cameras if we needed to, and phone numbers for the ghouls for cleanup. She was sort of monitoring the cameras, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Limey was looking for the same thing I was looking for, except he didn't see it before I did.
All right. When you discovered the art, what did you do next? I'm having a disconnect between you finding the art and Limey frenzying. Why do you do that?
So am I. I opened the van door, looked inside, and I was looking at it, kind of shocked because fuck me, it was disgusting. And he he tried to punch me in the face and missed. And then he tried to attack me again and missed again. And then he managed to throw me off of a balance and pin me down to the floor. He was in a frenzy at this point. I only realised once he was on top of me and I could see his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We were fighting on the floor. I was considering actually giving him a pretty good smack. And Lady Sheridan came over and dominated him at a frenzy.
All right, all right. Well, good thing Sheraton was there to try to defuse the situation, but oh fuck!
She
You see
managed.
Frank Green go ahead and raise his hand to his forehead and simply says, "Oh shit, that's not great." But continue on. I got a theory, but yeah.
She
What did
managed.
the rest of the ground team do?
She managed to shut the cameras down before there was camera pictures of him frenzying.
Hmm.
And when things calmed down a little bit, we heard a gunshot. I told Sheridan and Limey to stay with the van and wait for the cleanup crew to come and take it away before the gunshot drew mortals to the area.
Hmm.
And I climbed the rope, but by the time I got to the top, all I saw was Rose standing there over the body. It happened very quickly.
Okay, okay. The van being taken care of by a cleanup by the Princess Goons.
It was taken care of by the Princess School.
Okay,
It's been taken away,
good,
as was the body of the maestro, I presume, handed over to the prince.
good, good. Rooftop team. Frank Green says he's looking over to Rose now. What transpired?
Well, I went up there. I saw this young female, small female, standing there. She transformed in a group of bats flying off. I thought I lost her. Then I heard a gunshot, so I ran towards the sound of it, and she was on the ground on the other side of the building, and I just jumped on top of her and stopped her.
This, you say a flock of bats.
hmm
This flock of bats, where did they go and where did they come from?
She literally transformed into them.
Okay, where did they go?
Flew away.
Okay, well that's disconcerting. You see Frank Green go ahead and the wheels are currently turning. Okay, fair dues, fair dues. Ground team, everybody coherent afterwards? Everybody fine?
Limey's still. I had to get away from him. Basically, he was being an intolerable prick. There's something wrong with him. I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with him.
Overactive beast?
He seems a lot. I don't know. It's not just tonight. He's been like it for weeks now.
Irritable.
Irritable, aggressive, short-tempered, disturbed. You know, I've known him for a little while now, and he's was never like that before. He's got more control than I have. Usually, very calm.
There are definitely a few things that can cause such a personality change like that, none of which we can really ascertain right now. It's probably stress of the new city. New York does that to you.
Mm.
Personally involved in the case, on a level. Why? I'm not sure. Whether that will go away now that the case is resolved, again, I'm not sure. But it would explain a lot of the emotionalness.
Oh, Lemmy is a good kindred to have at your back, and let's see if we can't work something out with him, because I don't want him flying off the handle randomly like that anymore. Done it too many times in my presence for one reason or another.
So what now?
Well, the has been detained. The captive has been detained. The kind population is none the wiser. They don't even have an inkling about what may or may not happen. Well, at least I hope so. Sheridan, what's the story that you're going with for this one? What are they talking about?
Well, I tend to try and get at least close to the truth where possible. In this case, we were able to remove the bodies before anyone saw them. So all that anyone is talking about is the brownouts in the area and the later blackout that was most conveniently timed.
Excellent. Excellent. Things went according to plan, which is great. It's nice when a plan just, sort of comes together like that. As far as the artwork, I think that can be documented and safely destroyed. We don't have many facilities to preserve that kind of work, nor would we
I'm
want
going
to.
to interrupt the sheriff over there for a loud bike going and parking by the bar, where two people can get off the bike. One of them stays outside, the other one goes inside.
Excellent.
Um, are you wearing a helmet?
At the moment, yes, I haven't taken my helmet off yet. I only just got inside.
Yeah, there's a very large it's about 6'7", big beefy biker guy. Who's sort of standing away from the door in a nearby alley. You can see that he's watching you because
Yeah,
he recognized the other people that went to the bar, but he's never seen this
well,
person before.
yeah, person standing biker leathers, wearing a black helmet. You know, standard. That's probably a large chunk of your customers here.
Yeah, but right now it's closed.
Yeah.
So he comes up. He doesn't purposely stride towards you as if he's going to stop you from going in, but he does follow you in.
Good. Right, big guy, go fetch the boss. Oh, wait, sorry. I was talking to you, big guy. I'm not talking to the shadows. You, your boss. Let her know I'm here.
Okay. He looks at you with sort of a blank expression. You can tell he hasn't got very many brains in his head. And he sort of walks in, and Ghost. You can hear Ghost saying, and Ghost stands up from his seat. She says, "I thought I told you to fucking get out." He said, "There's somebody outside looking for you." And Ghost stands up and walks towards the door.
Well, you can see where I originally was that you have a person trying to get their biker leathers off, which takes a few minutes. Damn boots.
She stands there sort of waiting. She doesn't say anything. She waits for the person to reveal themselves.
Yes, eventually the helmet comes off and you'll see the familiar figure, who's not very used to being riding on the back of a bike.
She immediately sort of smiles, and she dips her head. She's not bowing, but it's sort of a very slight incline of her head, and she goes, "Oh yeah, sure, sure, come in. Sorry about Billy. He's a total idiot. Go home,
He's
Billy."
doing his job.
And Billy sort of shrugs himself off and goes to sit in a diner across the street and order a big stack of pancakes to eat his feelings because his boss doesn't love him anymore.
Right, I'm assuming Green's already arrived, so you guys are all nicely sorted?
Yep, we're all here.
Good.
Mm-hmm. They've been simply going over the events of the previous evening.
Good. Everyone's caught up and on the same page then?
Yep. I suppose it's down to you and Frank now. What's going to be done with our captive?
Well, I've got our captive locked in a safe and placed somewhere secure.
Did we check her beforehand?
Oh, she's been searched.
Have we thoroughly checked her?
Not yet. That's why she's locked in the safe.
Good. Good.
As to the instrument, we're looking to get some... Limey says he's got a friend with some specialized talents too. Hopefully we'll be able to get the live one out of there.
Wait, there was a live one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the individuals involved in the creation of the piano wasn't quite.
Wasn't quite, was specific. Each one of those impalements were specifically placed to ensure non-lethality at the same time of maximum damage should they be removed. Going to take quite some work, but if Limey's contact is as good as he says it is, we can ensure this individual is kept, made a clean slate of the details, and they can go along their existence as if nothing ever happened.
Interesting. The condition of the victim.
Stable at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Stable at the moment. Damage done. Reversible. Memory can't be tampered with. If that victim reaches full recovery and we can simply release her, well, it's good enough for me, I guess.
That's the plan. We might need to check up a few details, but this Maestro was quite vicious in their selection.
Did we ever find out a pattern for the victims? How they were selected?
Well, Ghost, Rose, you people were pretty much charging up the investigation. Well, alongside the others, of course, but you three are here.
I never found anything. But then again, most of the stuff I found out was about the actual murdering. All I know is that every time they got murdered, they were alive when being put together. It's not a fair sight, not a fair vision.
Fair dues, fair dues. There is some cleanup work that we can do to identify the rest of the bodies to see if there is a pattern. But for now, I think we can close this case with the detainment of the maestro.
Yeah. What you do? Now, what are we all going to do with our Saturdays?
I'm gonna wear my sunglasses, and you really shouldn't mess with the guy in the sunglasses. Just don't masquerade with him. He's just not a good time.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind having some peace and quiet again. This has been rather unnerving.
Speaking of rather unnerving, I take it people have heard about Chicago.
Read, seen, had to scare the frickin' neonates to actually take notice of it last night.
Yeah.
I've not heard of it. What's wrong with Chicago?
Well, I
A lot of our
had. Sorry, carry on.
a lot of our people just went silent in Chicago, and there was a terrorist attack in the same night as our contacts going dead.
I see. Disturbing.
It's a big bomb, by the sound of it.
They are going to be poring over that event for at least 3 months before they do anything else, and then they'll start making documentaries of it every single year. And about 5 years down the road, they will have detailed every single component of that incident. But for now, there's nothing we can really do.
Um, we've got a new guy coming into the city. I don't know if anyone's met him yet. Before contacts in Chicago went dead, one of my contacts let me know he was coming. He's a priest or something, father or something.
Right. Well, I need you to go and sort out these side details to make sure nothing slipped through the cracks. I'll leave you all to your various business, and I'll give you an update once we get to the next step.
Alright, I'm gonna get
I'll
some
see
people
you
in here
soon.
to clean up.
And the prince is going to go and struggle back into his biker clothes and is going to be driven to his next location.
Fair dues. Frank Green, for his part, is simply going to go ahead and... Alright, alright. Do you have this guy's contact details? Has he presented himself yet?
I don't know. Ghost hands you the contact details out of character. It's the guy played by Alex Rose.
Gotcha.
So, you now have his contact details.
Alright. Frank Green will go ahead and grab his contact details. Go ahead and say again, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to this guy, see if he's presented himself. If not, I'm going to drive him over to the new Cinesol's office. If so, well, then we'll just have a polite, pleasant conversation.
Right.
I'm always interested to see new kindred in this city.
Me too.
Do you require my help with that, Mr. Green?
If I do, I will leave you a message.
Very well.
He's apparently Bruges, so...
Oh, Bruges.
Well, I've got
There
a
it
few
is.
things I need to do over the weekend. I've got to get this place fucking cleaned up for a start. And I'm making a trip. So, I won't be around, but if you need anything, I'm sure you can contact my various ghouls, etc. Put in a message with me.
Fair dues, fair dues. There's still some business I need to talk to you about, Ghost, but time is currently being taken away from me. In fact, you should probably talk to Sheridan about it. She'll fill you on the details.
Oh, okay. Well, we can talk soon.
If you're talking about the coterie matter, we've already spoken.
Oh, fantastic. How do we find the plan?
Excellent, aside from possible issues with Limey.
We can talk about this later on.
Late.
In private, perhaps.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Oh, and this is for you. And you'll hand Frank a swipe card.
Goes ahead and looks at it. Looks at the back, looks at that black stripe. For the elevator, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well then, thank you. I'll go ahead and try to arrange something for us. Good job, people. We did it. The masquerade is safe. People don't realize what a horrible, horrible world we live in. And with that, Frank Green is just going to go ahead and walk off.
Let's close the scene, because I have to go.
Yep.
With things wrapped up, and, you know, things talked about.
Various goodbyes.
Exciting things.
Yep.
Various goodbyes. Thank you for watching, and see you again.